Alright, so in this video, I'll walk you through how exactly you can make a coloring book for Amazon KDP that you could sell and make money. It's actually a very profitable niche in the Amazon KDP market right now. And if you're a complete beginner to it, you can still easily create this as well. Okay, so let's jump right in. Now, the first thing that you want to make sure is what dimensions of your book are going to be. So for example, for this tutorial, it's going to be a coloring book for teens and adults. The dimensions would be 8.5 by 8.5 inches. So it's going to be a square, right? And 100 pages for the book length with 50 different drawings. Now you might be wondering why there are 100 pages if there are only 50 drawings. So the reason for this is because uh, let's assume you have a drawing on the first page, and then whenever you or your child try to color it, whatever kind of pen you use, it will tend to bleed on the other side of the paper, and that would actually affect the quality of the book if it isn't separated by the entire page. And this is why it's 100 pages with 50 different drawings, right? The binding would be paperback with interior colors black and white. Now once everything is planned, let's just go ahead and create the interior. So for the book creation, we'll be using Canva. So just go ahead and launch Canva. Now either you can use the Canva app or the web version of it. It doesn't really matter. So just go ahead and launch any of them. Alright, so now here in Canva, click this plus create a new design button. Then choose custom size. And here you have to put the size of your paperback. Now don't put 8.5 by 8.5 inches. Instead, go to Amazon KDP's website, then click help, and under book formatting, click format your paperback. And under that one, you'll actually see trim size, bleed, and margins. And if you then scroll down a little bit here, you will see the definition that bleed is a printing term that refers to when printed items on a page, such as images or illustrations, basically reaching to the end of the page without any white space around it, right? Now, there are different measurements for the page when you're going to create a coloring book with bleed. So it's not the dimensions of the book you're going to put, because as you can see, if you click this and scroll down a bit, a chart will pop up and show that the size of the page that you need to have. If your dimensions are 8.5 by 8.5 inches, that will be 8.625 by 8.75 inches with bleed, right? And that is the number we are going to use. So now you want to head back to Canva and put the exact measurements. Also, don't forget to change the unit to inches. After that, click create a new design, and there we go. Alright, once you create the design, you need to set the margins next, which is where the bleed starts and where the images will be cut once it gets printed out. So go back to Amazon KDP's website, scroll down a little bit on the same place, you got measurements with bleed to set the margins. So it's right here, and margins actually have different measurements for different page counts. Since we are using 100 pages, it's under this part right here. So we'll be using 0.375 by 0.375 inches. Now let's head back to Canva once again and set the margins. First, you want to press Shift plus R on your keyboard to get this ruler that you could see on the left and top. Next, drag it a little bit until it reaches to 0.375. Again, do the same for the top as well. And once you have these two margins aligned, now unfortunately you can't do this for the opposite side, but here's what you can do instead. First, go over to elements, then from the shapes, choose and square, and place this square between these two margins in the corner. And once it's aligned, then I'll just move this to the bottom and set the margins for the right side. All right, perfect. Now let's just remove this square because we're not going to need that anymore. So the margins are done, and since we need 100 pages, so I'm going to duplicate it 100 times. All right, now let's create the interior of the book. So for the drawings, we'll be using AI. So you need to click the apps right here at the bottom left. And then I want to search for a very good AI tool that generates photos that you can actually use to create coloring books. and it's called Magic Media, and it's this one right here. So we got some different tabs here, and then a prompt box, and then some styles. So from the tabs, go over to the graphics tab, and then for the style, choose sketch, since it's the closest to the coloring book style that I like to have. By the way, for the free version, you will get only 50 credits for the app per month. But if you have a pro version of Canva, you can get up to 500 credits per month with Magic Media. And each generation costs 1 credit, and you will get 4 images per generation. So now let's generate something like a cat with patterns inside of it, coloring book photo, take lines. So yeah, now let's click on create and let's wait. So it's ready, and you can choose multiple of them, or you could choose just one of them as well. If you happen to choose all of them, because at this point they looks very good, it will save you a lot of time as well as the credits. If you're going to make 50 photos of these sort of images plus the cover of the coloring book. But for now, let's just click on this one here and see what it looks like. So yeah, it's good, and I'm going to go with it for now. One thing that I like to mention here is try to get rid of these shaded areas, because some people don't like those. But again, it's just AI, so you can't really expect something perfect right off the bat. So make sure to regenerate again and again until you get something that can be added, that people like. So never compromise on quality, right? Alright, so just like that, I've generated 50 different images, and like I said, it's AI. It's not gonna be perfect. It always be with some minor flaws that you can actually fix on some websites like Photopea. So AI is not perfect, but once again, it's getting better at a very rapid pace, and eventually you're going to be able to create a perfect coloring book right within AI. One more thing that I want to say is you should keep all your drawings on the odd pages. And the reason for this is because the first page of the interior is always on the right side and the second on the left. Basically, odd number pages are on the right and the even ones on the left. And if you put your first drawing on the second page, then the coloring book will be printed with the images on the left side, which isn't the way most books are printed. So just remember to generate the first photo on the first page and carry on generating more on different odd numbered pages. Alright, so now that the 50 drawings are completed, it's time to download it. So just click on share and then click on download, and you'll see right here the file type is set to PNG. Just click the drop down and choose PDF print. And let's stay on RGB and then click on download. Once it's downloaded, it's time to create the cover for the coloring book. So first of all, for the template, you need to go over to bookout.com, then click KDP cover template generator. And once you're there, simply put in the dimensions. So width is 8.5 inches and the length is 8.5 inches as well. And the page count is 100. The paper type is just white. Then just type in your email address twice and it will be sent to you. Alright, so we have our template now for the cover. As you can see, it's 8.5 by 8.5 book. And the reason why we need to download this first is because of this, the page layout or the full bleed size. So this is a measurement that we'll be using to create the cover. So it's 17.475 inches by 8.75 inches. Now let's head back to Canva once again, and then click on create the design and then click custom size. Also remove the size you did earlier for the interior and then change it to 17.475 for the width and 8.75 for the height. And remember, keep it in inches. Just click create a new design, and there we go. So we got the blank page right here with the dimensions as per what the cover template said. So the next thing you want to do is to upload the template on the design and then enlarge the size throughout the complete edges of the paper. So right here, you see all the margins around the template and even where the barcode should be at the time it get printed out. So what you should do next here is to get a square by clicking on elements, then shapes, and put it on the left side of the template. Expand it up to just set the second line of the spine. So there we go. just color the square black and you're good to create the actual cover photo. So to create the cover photo, do the same steps as you did to get Magic Media. So click on apps at the bottom left, then look for Magic Media, click it, and then choose the style you want. But this time, instead of being a graphic, you're staying in images. There are also many styles in here, but since this is a coloring book, what I recommend you is to choose either anime or concept art. Next, I'll prompt the image I want to put in the cover. So I'll put a cat patterns inside of it. So vivid colors, thick lines for a dull coloring book. And before you hit generate, you want to scroll down a bit here and make sure that the aspect ratio is square. You don't want it landscape, you don't want it portrait, you want it square, okay? So that is the shape of the space you will be putting the photo in. And once you make sure that the aspect ratio is square, you want to hit generate image and wait for the results. So once again, this only costs 1 credit to generate. All right, awesome. So here are the images and I'll just pick whatever looks the best. For me, I like this one here. So I'll choose this and this will be the book's cover photo. And then I want you to expand the photo to the very ends of the remaining space of the template, just like this. Now, once you have expanded the cover photo, let's close this panel first. Next, you want to go and click on the photo and click on transparency over here. And you will be lessen the transparency of the photo by dragging this slider. The reason why is because you need to make some adjustments and make sure it's within the lines of the bleed. All right, so once you have the photo right here, you want to click on the transparency again and then put in back to 100. So now that you have your photo perfectly positioned, it's time to add the text. So click on the text at the left and hit add a text box. Then make sure you move your text right here on the black side so that you know what you're typing, right? Then expand the font as well. Choose the font you would like to use. Canva has a lot of free fonts to use. So you can see there are a lot of free fonts that you could use right here. Now, if you want, you can also play around with these shapes right here just to make your cover looks better. So I'm going to add a shape from here and then I'm going to put the text over it. You can also set the position of the layers from this position tab. And lastly, I'm going to add a phrase below the text and let's just add one more shape here. And for this one, I'll write 50 pages. All right, so we are done with the cover and now it's time to download this one too. Same thing as the way we downloaded the interior earlier. So you want to click on share, then download, and then the file type should always be PDF print. And then this one stays on RGB as well. After that, you want to hit download and just wait until it finishes. So the cover photo is downloaded, then just go ahead and upload it to Amazon KDP. Now, there are a lot of tutorials out there on how you can upload your books to Amazon KDP. Go ahead and watch those out and you're good to go. So that's pretty much for this video. This is basically how you can create a coloring book for Amazon KDP. And if you found this video valuable, then make sure to give this a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It just takes 1 second of your life and it really means a lot to me. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Thanks.